A very good evening to all of you. This is Dr. Ajit Jaswal, Department of Epidemiology and Public Health, Central University of Tamil Nadu. Respected Professor Deepak Behra sir, Professor Grigory, Professor Papa Rao, Professor Bhagwan Roy, and all my guru. Thank you very much for inviting me for UIAF Young Anthropologist webinar series in honor of late Professor Vinay Kumar Srivastava sir. Today I am going to discuss about a very important topic called as anthropology, anthropologists and their future. My discussions revolve around a discussion and writing of Professor Vinay Kumar Srivastava sir, Professor Kapoor, Professor Grigory and many others experts in the field of anthropology. I will start my lecture with a discussion between the Executive Committee of the Association of Anthropologists of the UK and the Commonwealth and the Royal Anthropological Institute. Both have long observed that with little anthropology offered in schools, school leavers have little idea about what anthropologists do and no idea at all about a broad potential for interesting career that studying anthropology provides. It is apparent that many potential research users are equally unsure about what anthropology can offer. As a result of these discussions, there is a number of questions came in my mind like what is actually anthropology is all about? What anthropologists do? Why there is a need to think about the future? What about the term called poly, multi and holistic dimension? All this forced me to review the anthropological literature, collect a range of examples and try to find out the answer of all this. Let's start with what anthropologists do. Seems to be a bit of mystery to many people. And there are several reasons for this. One is that anthropologists are involved in such a wide variety of things that the most accurate answer to the questions what they do is just about anything that involves understanding human biosocial characteristics or behavior. Another is that people's idea about anthropologists are often gleaned from portraits in literature, films and television, which tend to favor rather dramatic stereotypes, pith helmet wearing, colonial adventurers living in the hidden tribe in the jungles, or crime-busting forensic anthropology who always find the murderer. According to Wistrang's personal view is that we need to challenge this stereotype for several reasons because the facts are more interesting than the fiction in an ever more complex world. Anthropology has a vital contribution to make, and contrary to the stereotype, anthropological training is immensely applicable in a very wide variety of careers. So the purpose of this lecture is to describe what anthropology actually do and what is the future of anthropology or anthropologists. It is not a comprehensive account, just a brief introduction to the kind of work that anthropologists undertake and the multiple directions open to the practitioner. It is probably useful to start by talking about what anthropology is all about. The broadest definition is that it is a biosocial science that involves the study of human groups and their behavior, their interaction with each other and with the material environment. Most anthropologists study contemporary society. Anthropology itself is a very broad discipline with large subdisciplinary area. I'm not going to discuss about the disciplinary area. There are other offshoots too, crossing into developmental studies, social policies, and studies of art and material culture. And as a glance at the diverse list, there is a host of smaller, even more specialized areas. Now the question is that what unites this diversity? Anthropology has several key characteristics. It is holistic, placing whatever behavior it is examining within its social and environmental context, and considering the range of cultural beliefs and practices that direct people's activity. It aims to be in depth, getting under the surface of the social life to make its underlying dynamics visible. It engages fully with the complexity of human being. Anthropology is widely acclaimed as a humanistic and field-based science with integrated and holistic perspective. In this sense, it would be misnomer if we one could label anthropology as the people science. Considering its well-established ethnographic tradition, cultural relativistic approach, and the natural proximity to the people. Unfortunately, however, anthropology is yet to achieve the status of a popular science among the people as well as among the academic circles, particularly in the context of India. It is a serious question that need to be examined while deliberating on the anthropology and the future of anthropology or future of humankind. It is a crisis of sort which could very well be linked to a kind of identity crisis the subject has been facing since long as it could be traced as far back as in 1940s in the writing of Raymond Firth, and later raised by many in the 1990s, even Professor Vinay Kumar Srivastava sir also. The crisis is much severe today, especially in the emerging global trend and expectations. While reflecting on the crisis of anthropology and advocating a viable strategy to take this subject to its new height by approximately responding to the minimal millennial challenges of the contemporary society. Of all the sciences, anthropology could probably claim to be the one closest to the people. Overcoming the fragmented visions of other disciplines, the subject pleads to look into every dimension of human life by placing and by what is called space and time, prehistoric and historic, pre-literate and literate, and the technologically simple and advanced. Thus, develop an integrated understanding of human behavior, culture, and society. It is the only science that is presumed to embrace both the biological as well as the cultural dimension of human life in its evolutionary, comparative, and holistic perspective as an integrated whole. Thus, anthropology deals with everything that concerns humans since their emergence on Earth. The strength of anthropology also lies in its scientific approach and the methodology involve intensive fieldwork and participant observation, whereby the specific features, cultural diversity, and behavior of the social unit under considerations are uncovered and understood in their own terms and perspective. Thus, anthropology is not exclusively to natural science, humanistics, or social science, but inclusion of all and integrated with each other. All this make the subject unique in its approach and orientations. Some important highlighting points that I want to highlight when we are discussing about that. The contribution of anthropology in every dimension of human existence in the post-World War scenario has received global recognitions and thus has proved its credential and usefulness in the establishment of world with peaceful coexistence. Most developmental programs and planning till recent years have ended in a total failure, mainly because of the lack of proper understanding of the basic problems of our day-to-day life. Or we may say that lack of anthropological approach, as is evident from wider adaptation of its approach by various other disciplines in their research endeavors. And even, you must be aware of that, it is promoted by the bodies of United Nations in their developmental initiative and project situation. Anthropological knowledge has the potential to control the biases of sex, class, race, nation, religion, ethnic groups, or culture. That is, we are discussing about the solution of many societal problem. Now there is one question: how anthropology, with its immense potential, could contribute to the understanding of major issues that divide the contemporary society and endanger the whole world peace. In brief, the uniqueness of anthropology mainly lies in its humanistics and field-based approach as well as its integrated and holistic perspective. There has been a there has been a growing concern, however, today about the extent to which the discipline lies upon to its lofty claim and traditional heritage. The question that is increasingly raised today is whether the subject are to be specific, its present day practitioners still reflect its value identity of a relativistic perspective with a holistic vision. The hallmark of its distinctiveness in dealing with humanistic issue of the emerging society in a globalized world. To put it plainly, can every one of us who claim to be anthropologists confidently say that anthropology for me is a way of life? In everything I do, I am an anthropologist. We all know that a discipline is born in a historical context, take a dramatic dynamic forms along with changing time in order to be relevant to the time. Whenever the subject fails to respond to the call of the time, it is bound to face a crisis of sort. Considering the nature of the subject matter, anthropology is bound to face constant crisis in the context of continuous challenges that the human society face and their radical transformation in the recent history of human. When we discuss about all these features, it is quite true that in spite of all its potentiality of a humanistic space or humanistic science or people science, it is not surprising that the subject has been facing a serious identity crisis as its immediate futures has been a concern all along as voiced by many anthropologists at different point of time, even Professor Srivastava in 1999. The crisis anthropology face today is much severe, especially in the emerging global trend and expectation. The problem that may be a result of its own strength or the routinization of its basic thrust over the year, coupled with an increased tendency for specialism at the cost of integration, lack of sustained dynamism, and ironically, a growing ecocentrism about the claim to capture the holistic and integrated reality of the world out there while failing to practice the same in one's own day-to-day affair. The subject, though widely considered as having high relevance in the present day development perspective, is yet to gain popular acceptance in India as a subject that has profound relevance in any activity of human endeavor. It has to undergo a constant process of purification and rejuvenation while it prepares itself to address the challenges of the modern times with appropriate responses. When we try to see this, discuss about all this, the issue of crisis and status, the kind of crisis that anthropology faces today cover a plethora of issues that ranges from the question of employability to the question of anthropologicality and the subject popularity. The anthropologists in India have been employed as specialists, researcher, consultant, administrator, teachers, and trainers, and in various organizations and departments. So, apart from the expanding potential of opportunity in applied field, the study of anthropology remains valuable also for its contribution to the bare understanding of human variation and relationships. For human related relation fields such as law, medicine, nursing, education, government, psychology, economics, business administration, communication, media, anthropologists have a very fundamental role to play. Only by becoming sensitive to the cultural dimension of human existence and by learning to cope with them, can one hope to become operationally effective in any of this field. Anthropology has much to contribute to the intercultural relation as well as intracultural relation. In a change, in a change paradigm of development with our renewed commitment to the empowering role of education and a reaffirmed commitment for a meaningful education for all, the importance of learning anthropology can never be exaggerated. In spite of great variety of opinion, openings and opportunity, one of the major crises of anthropology is facing today concerned with the employment prospect. What is this paradox? The question arises whether we are able to imprint our anthropological stamp effectively whenever we are in, so that there is a higher demand. The reason could also be because of the distaste that might be created in the minds of the employees regarding the anthropological way of approach and the solution, and for taking the side of the people, it might also point to the kind of anthropological training given. Again, we need to examine whether the subject is held as a professional one and whether the students are serious and committed in the process of their learning without taking the subject as something called easygoing or time pass. Furthermore, furthermore, if someone expect a professional employment with high salary immediately after one's postgraduate degree, it would be like living in a utopia. It would be too much to expect, particularly if you are still constrained to impart the introductory anthropological training at the level of master degree. We need to realize that it definitely requires further professional and research training and the development of an appropriate aptitude to look for a professional employment. This is not only in the case of anthropology but also in every other research oriented subject. Moreover, we need to be aware of the fact that anthropology is field oriented subject and there are plenty of opportunity, particularly in today's globalized world. To absorb such professionals may not be on a permanent basis but offering initial opening, thereby providing a space for coming out with a creative potential and establishing a potential professional identity for further climbing on the ladder. If the anthropologists fail to make use of such opening, there would be others to grab such opportunity. In any case, the image of anthropology as having no employment perspective, either by our own creations or by our distorted understanding of the kind of job opening we expect in anthropology, are well reflected in the dwindling number of students in many departments of anthropology. We also need to understand, need to examine how much efforts we take at the regional level to make the subject professional attractive, innovative, and to popularize it. Developing the required network in order to create a demand for the subject without compromising our strength. One of the major threats the subject is facing today, I will use the statement of Professor Gregory, the identity crisis of practical anthropology. According to Srivastava sir, he talked about the of the profound impact of anthropology on some of the bureaucrats who have opted for anthropology in their civil services examination. Given the state of affair, internal importance, antagonistic role model, and unempathetic learning environment, would it be wrong to say that self-learning anthropology, as is the case with the civil servant aspirant, may have a better anthropological influence on the learner than the classroom learning? There are anthropologists who do not want to see anything good or tend to become colorblind in their perception, depending on whom or what their subject is or subject of dealing is. Another issue concerned with the question of dissemination of the subject and the value it vouches for. It touches upon the extensivity as well as of the intensivity. The former pointing to the extent of demand creation and the latter concerning the quality of imparting anthropological knowledge in value term. It is important what kind of anthropology we impart and what kind of personality we are bound to mold. One of the greatest concerns about the future of anthropology has been its dwindling takers experienced by most departments of anthropology across the country. It is ironical that we bemoan the neglect of anthropology as a subject of teaching and research in many of our universities, while giving least attention to the almost total neglected it faces as a subject of teaching at the undergraduate level and taking least effort to address the problem of dwindling takers opting for anthropology even in the existing department. This is to be related to the kind of anthropology we impart to our student as well as to the kind of demand we created for our bands in the job market. It is also related to our future to convince our fraternity and political classes of our claim of anthropology as people's science. Why we are not approaching or unable to convince the institutions like Bar Council of India, Medical Council of India, AICTE, and so many others the relevance and significance of anthropology in the practice of their respective professions and hints to include anthropology as one of the paper in their curriculum. On the other hand, the experience of America, USA present a different situation where anthropology is one of the popular subjects which is taught in a majority of the colleges and universities and which is one of the popular optional subject for students of other discipline. Because of the absence at higher secondary or at the level of PG courses, very few have knowledge of anthropology when they opt for anthropology. However, this is not the case with with many other discipline. So at last, I would like to say that anthropology has an immense potential to respond to the score of issues that are confronting the contemporary society, the realizing of which is a must for the subject to become engaged with society. But then it is a serious question with regard to the extent to which this potentiality get realized in action. It is important to identify the kind of issue that required serious and immediate attention of the anthropologist, particularly in the context of its acclaimed affinity with the marginalized section of society. Another significant area of engagement for anthropology is in today's globalized context is the applied discipline. So many applied aspects are there. You just name any as such disciplines, you will find the importance, presence, and requirement of anthropologists. Business world, corporate anthropology, business anthropology, nutrition anthropology, forensic anthropology, sports anthropology. So just name it. So in India, the anthropology have been employed as a specialist, researcher, consultant, administrative, teacher, trainers in various organizations and departments. This includes the Department of Social Welfare, Tribal Welfare, Child and Family Welfare, Planning Board, Backward Class Commission, Information and Tourism, Culture and Communication, Central Bureau of Investigation, Census of India, Bureau of Economics and Statistics, All India Radio, Doordarshan, Medical College, Forensic Department and Fingerprint Bureau, Blood Bank, Indian Air Force, Indian Space Research Organizations, UGC, ICSSR, National Council for Education, Research and Training, International School of Dravidian Linguistics, Indira Gandhi Manav Sangrahalaya, Central State Museum of Natural History, Archaeology, Arts and Folklore, International Institute of Population Studies, Tribal Research Centers, Anthropological Survey of India, Archaeological Survey of India, Indian Statistical Institute, University and Colleges Department of Anthropology, Archaeology, Futurology, Folklore, Sociology, Social Work. They also find placement in greater variety of public and private positions and employed as a consultant in government and private agencies concerned with welfare, drug abuse, mental health, environmental impact, occupational hazard, housing, education, foreign aid, agricultural development, tourism, entertainment and cultural relations, management, consultant for multinational firms, and as a staff member or consultant in hospital. At last, so there are dimensions the future are immense. Future are really very bright. Future is really great. Anthropology could justify its existence, relevance, and significance only as long as it maintained its exclusive identity. However, the question as to how far we are able to maintain our exclusive. So the question is how far we are able to maintain our exclusive identity and to what extent anthropology could be able to assert its uniqueness in the changing circumstances need to be addressed with all its significance and seriousness without just boasting about our traditional glory and humanistic orientation. As has been suggested in the prickly paper series that deals with anthropology and the crisis of intellectuals, there is a need for reinventing anthropology by engaging with society. Reinventing anthropology necessarily means that we undergo the process of self-reflexibility by becoming firmly rooted in the spirit of anthropology and reaffirming its commitment to the people in the practice of our professional in the response to the contemporary challenges. So there has been a growing need today for an appropriate anthropological response, especially when the world is facing nervous breaking challenges and self destructive threats under the roof of global umbrella. If an appropriate response should emerge, there should be a serious introspection about the existing status of the subject, which itself is facing an identity crisis and a lack of direction. In rejuvenating the subject and making it relevant in the present day context, a twofold response has been suggested to meet the challenges of the emerging world and establish the anthropological identity. On the one hand, serious effort have to be taken to diffuse and disseminate the anthropological perspective in the face of serious threat to the basic human value and the trend of value degradation. On the other hand, there should be efforts to professionalize the subject so that the subject could draw the necessary strength from its rich heritage and response to the global challenges of the today with professional sensitivity and human wisdom. At last, the last statement, that is the sum of Professor Vinay Sir, a future of and for anthropology lies in the constantly struggling to evolve a sophisticated theoretical and methodological apparatus conducting solid fieldwork and justify subscribing to the premises of human right, democratizations, welfare and the development of people of all shades of life. Overall, the future of anthropology or anthropologist, to be very frank, is very bright, very big, very broad, much more dimensive and supportive and much more valuable than any other discipline. So that's all for this lecture. Thank you so much.